Welcome, everyone, to Module 2 of the Balance and Shine coaching method. Today, we are talking about the compliance code. This is a 5-step code or process to help your clients stay on track. So even though you have the 7-part session structure, which teaches you exactly how to break down your sessions and exactly what to say and what are the questions you can ask, the compliance code is really an overarching process that you can keep in your back pocket that is more of a bird's eye view. Today, I'm going to be taking you through an overview of that process and talking a little bit about each of the steps. So let's go ahead and dive in. So the teaching points from this module is to give you really an overview and an understanding of the 5-step compliance code that you can use in every follow-up session. So in Module 1, I talked a lot about how to create rapport and trust and connection and to set up a container for success. This is all about how to structure and run and follow the process of helping your clients stay on track. The word compliance for some people really feels heavy and clinical and almost industrial in a way, compliance, but it actually is rooted in the word fulfill. The purpose of this is to help your clients fulfill what it is that they'd really like, okay? Again, beyond their symptoms, more energy, better digestion, happiness, joy, so many different options out there. So we're also going to be going over how the compliance code fits in with the 7-part session structure. The 7-part session structure is really the crux of each week that the actual course content fits into. And the compliance code is really a step back, and I'll show you how that fits in. And then we're also going to talk about how to let go of what the healing process should look like, or what your clients should be doing. And it's so easy to get caught up in that space where you just want them to do. And I want to talk about what to do instead of that, okay? So the 5-step compliance code, here it is. Step 1 is presence and clarity on the desired outcome, okay? 2 is results. Accountability, which is another way of saying accountability. Step 3 is discovery and exploration. Step 4 is the next steps and commitment. And the last one is uncovering blind spots and understanding that there's always something going on underneath what we say. So step 1 is having clarity on the result your client would truly like from both the experience of working with you and in the session. That's clear to both parties. So it's clear to you what it is that they want, and it's clear to them what it is that they want, or what they're moving towards, or what their outcome is. And when that changes, you're in rapport with each other. And you know, because goals change, outcomes change. This is about being able to facilitate a discovery process to lead your client to where they want to go. And through discovery, clients will decide, right, that they maybe want something different or less or more, or they might, tweak their outcome a little bit. And then step 1 is also, again, as you already know from session 1, what beyond the symptoms are they experiencing, what they, and why? So what would they like beyond their symptoms and why? Step 2 is results. This originally was considered to be accountability, and I really wanted to shift it into results. And underneath results is really where accountability goes, because the truth is we can have our clients, or our clients can follow through and then also not experience a result. So it's not all about did our clients follow through or not. And So it's exploring the client's results and actions they took and the results of those actions. Okay. Did the client follow through? Focused on increasing awareness of what's working rather, and what's not working. Okay, so that's very clear. What did your client learn? Kind of a big one. And what was its impact and goals on their other areas of life? Were they able to follow through with their sugar detox, but the rest of their life was stressful? Were they able to follow through on it, but they really felt like it took away from their family? So, what was the outcome? Or was it out of their budget? Right? So remember, we're here to help our clients create balance, not to create a short-term result that really kind of pushes. Now, that's not to say that by just nature, if we focus on, one area of life, then it's only natural that other areas of life might not get as much focus from us. That's completely normal. It's completely natural. And it's also important to know what those other areas of life are, so that you can make the right decisions, help them make the right decisions moving forward. And then what are the gaps? What did the client not understand? What did the clients not have resources for? What is it that your client needs to know? What is it that is, underarching thing? I like to call it underarching, like what's going on underneath in your client that's causing them to be able to take that step, or to prevent them from following through. So I want to reframe following through for you. There's always a reason that your clients don't do what they said they would do. There's always a reason. And it's not just because they didn't do it, or because they needed more hand holding, or because they weren't ready. Like, there's actually a reason. And the reason, as we go into step 3, that discovery and exploration process, can be a really large part that you can helping them solve that problem, whatever it is. Perhaps it was just time, or it was overwhelm, or really no matter what it is, you are in the perfect place to be able to help them work through that. Okay. So step 3 is the discovery and exploration. Okay. So so far, just to recap, there's the clarity on what it is that your client wants. It's their vision, for lack of a better way to say it. 2 is their results. What are they coming in with? Are they still the same? Are they better? Are they not better? Are they following through? Why not? And discovery and exploration doesn't really matter if they followed through or not followed through. It's more about being able to just acknowledge their result, where they are. If they didn't follow through, be able to ask the appropriate questions, which you do have, and explore and discover with them into what might work better for them moving forward. So the purpose is to enhance clarity for the client and help move the client to greater understanding about their habits, perceptions, how they see things, which is module 3, and insights. So our job as practitioners is to listen empathetically and reflectively. Okay, so we're not listening from a space of wrong or right. We are just listening in an objective space versus telling the clients what they should do. So if the client says to you, it was too hard for me to make breakfast for myself in the morning, it took too much time. And I might ask for some more details. What were they trying to make? How much time did they have, if you didn't know those things? And reflecting back, it takes 20 minutes is too much time for you to take in the morning to make your breakfast. You need to have something that is faster. And they'll say yes or no. So you're repeating back to them, listening actively so that they feel understood. You're not saying, oh my God, you can't take 20 minutes for yourself? Jeez. So they will come to their own conclusions. They will. And again, I just said this reflective listening is also you. So repeating back to them, staying in your own space. So when you're in sessions, I want you to imagine that you're in a bubble. Okay, you're just in this energetic, beautiful bubble and you're listening. And in that bubble is your own joy, is you loving what you're doing, is you just experiencing the bliss of being able to help someone on their journey. So step 4 is forwarding steps and commitment. Not much happens for our clients unless they are committed, right? They have to be committed. So you can offer at this stage after you've gotten the discovery and exploration, right? Again, these are high level, so we're going to go in more into depth as we go through the modules. You're offering your professional suggestions, clinical suggestions, ideas, and you're evoking their next desired actions or habits based on the learnings in sessions. When I say evoke, I mean ask them, what do you think would work for you moving forward? And we have protocols for people, right? We have supplements, we have eating plans, we have lifestyle habits that we think would really, really serve them. And I just want to say that, you know, on paper or just even in action steps, you know, the process of implementation of those is a whole different story. It's a whole different skill set. It's a whole different story. We want those protocols to be able to jump off the paper and get into their body. Okay. So chances are you will not have any shortage of suggestions to make. Okay. So soliciting and suggesting teamwork to formulate a plan based on learnings in the session versus telling them what to do. Client takes on or decides on certain actions that they will take. The client knows the difference between could do, want to, and will do, and commits to what feels good to them. Could do. Everything that they could do possible under the sun. This is your whole protocol, what you'd wish they would just do, and what you want with the want to is what they want to do. And oftentimes this is their people pleaser coming out. Well, I really want to, you know, do all of these suggestions at once. I really want to be able to do a sugar detox. If you've ever, by the way, had a client go through a sugar detox alone versus in a group, it's a totally different experience. So they may want to do it without the inertia of the group. It really is quite different. And then what they will do. What they will do is, you know, what they really feel there's this setting them up for commitment here just by saying, acknowledging that, of course, there's a whole bunch of things to do, but I, the practitioner, am so wise and understanding, and we want to have a space of flexibility so that we have progress. Right? That's the last step. Progress, not perfection. So just by explaining the could do, want to, and will do, helps the client know and understand and communicate with you, and vice versa, have that conversation that what they commit to is what you're holding them to. Okay? I also encourage my clients, do not say you're going to do something if you're not sure. I would prefer them get, especially at the beginning. When I have a lot of rapport with clients, I may stretch and push them, and we'll get into that section towards the end of the modules, I believe in 5 or 6. At the beginning, you really want the small wins. So don't encourage them to do everything at once or push them. You're looking for the small wins for progress and not for perfection. And sometimes what I do tell my clients is, hey, I find what works best for really getting, for you having the result that you want. When my clients reach their goals, by the say, as a tip, use that with your clients when you reach your goals. So it future paces them and allows them to hear that you believe that they are absolutely going to reach their goals. When you really you reach your goal, I find that when my clients reach their goals, this could do, want to, will do is really the foundational piece for them to be able to take on bite-size actions and behaviors and keep implementing them in a way that works for them. Okay. A really good, just by the way, a good way, just even with yourself, if you feel that resistance, just a word on resistance here, about doing something and moving forward, it doesn't mean you can't move through it. But when the resistance is too high, chances are it won't be something that they can stick with. Side note here, as an NTP or an NTC or health coach, sometimes clients are on things that are more challenging for a short amount of time. So I definitely want to point that out, and that's warranted. Okay. Step 5 are blind spots. So blind spots. So this is what your clients say that they absolutely will do these 5 things, and we can help them by really asking them, does any part of you have an objection to follow through? We can ask them these questions, okay? Is there anything you could think that could get in the way or stop you? Is there, anything that you might lose? What do you think others will say? When they see you moving towards your outcome, it may not seem like there could be, but can you think of anything bad that might happen if you were to have your outcome? For a woman that wants to lose 20 pounds and that's warranted, hey, she might have to buy all new clothes, or she might feel really kind of uncomfortable with her friends that maybe she eats pizza with, and maybe they're all struggling. Maybe they're all getting together and talking about, how menopause is the pits, and for her to be able to break through that, she feels like she really won't be part of the crowd anymore. So blind spots this is an important part you don't want to skip in the compliance mode, or in the compliance code rather, because it'll really reveal quite a bit. Okay. And then you can go back to the step 4, or part 5 of it rather, and go through that. Okay. You can go through that. So if they think that there's something that could get in their way, like a series of events or whatnot, does the goal that you are, or do the suggestions that you both came up with together make sense? Do they feel good? Is the client walking out of your office going, yeah, I could do this? That's what you want. Okay. So the compliance code it starts really in the obstacles part, in the part 2 rather, of the outline. Okay. So, and turn the breakdown into the way forward. All of those questions about chunking down, was it too much? All those are exploration and discovery questions. Those are there for you to discover and for you to explore in that 3rd section. So going through all of those. So be conscious when you're having follow-up sessions with clients of what part of the compliance code you are in practice of. So it is a practice. Are you in the space of knowing or finding out or asking about, is it in being clear on their goal? Are you, for example, following up on their results? Are you coming up with the next steps? Are you curious and helping them uncover their blind spots? So consciously using that in your back pocket in sessions can be very, very, very useful, because you'll know exactly what stage you're in, and what step you're in rather, and what you're really trying to accomplish in that compliance. Think about as well what piece you possibly could be missing. So if you're getting stuck with a client, you can also think of it from that perspective as well. Is to ask yourself if you're clear on what they want, if you're clear on the results, if you've done enough exploring, if you're asking them, if you're collaborating on those next steps. It could be very, very, very helpful. So letting go of what it could look like, or what it looks like rather. So the key to letting go with this, you guys, is to understand the purpose of each of your sessions with clients is to help them learn, understand, and discover. Okay. Yes. Do we want them to have this physical healing as well? Yes, of course they will. But if they're truly understanding, then they will be implementing. So, and this is why at the very end of sessions, you ask them what landed for them so you can get that feedback. Because also you'll be so surprised to see what a good job you're doing when they learn what landed for them. Okay, it's very powerful. Progress, again, over perfection is always the goal. And you really can't go wrong when you follow the session outlines. You cannot go wrong. So if you get stuck with a client, sometimes clients are easier, some personalities are easier for us to work with than others. And really mastering being able to work with all clients is where you want to go. And when you have more experience, you'll be able to do that. Different ages, different times of life, different things that are different struggles, different health complaints. So think about and always be asking yourself first, who does this client need me to be? Do they need more support right now? Do they need the truth? Do they need a little bit of a push, a cheerleader, inspiration? And when you have enough rapport with them after the first session, you can ask them, who do you need me, how can I support you best? Okay. Let them tell you how to work with them. This is the easiest way to create a happy client. Okay. Ask them. So how can I support you? Who do I really need to be as a practitioner and a coach to be able to support you? And they will tell you. So, being able to be on the other side of that is really magical. So that is module 2 of the Balance and Shine coaching method and that high level compliance code. Next week, we're talking about reframing and going into some actual coaching sequences and also, of course, stress relief. So thanks so much. I'll see you next week. Bye.